Picture this, a serene coastal town in Florida, its tranquil streets bathed in the golden glow of the afternoon sun. The year is 1975, and Clearwater, Florida seems like the perfect slice of Americana. But beneath its idyllic surface, a shadowy presence is quietly weaving its way into the fabric of this community. A series of mysterious property acquisitions by an obscure group known as the United Churches of Florida. Locals whisper of strange visitors and secretive meetings held behind closed doors, and as the sun sets, the whispers grow louder and fear begins to creep into the hearts of Clearwater's residents. In this episode, we delve into the covert operations orchestrated by Scientology, guided by L. Ron Hubbard's secretive directives. His policy letters, filled with strategies of infiltration, intelligence gathering, and relentless legal battles, set the stage for a silent invasion. Consider this: a town slowly wakes up to the realization that it has been infiltrated. Key properties, including the historic Fort Harrison Hotel, are now under the control of this mysterious organization. The local government, once unsuspecting, finds itself under scrutiny and pressure from unseen forces. Join us as we peel back the layers of this real-life thriller. We'll explore the clandestine maneuvers and hidden agendas. From Operation Normandy's detailed planning to the Guardian Office's chilling tactics, we'll uncover how Clearwater became the epicenter of a battle between truth and deception. I'm Sandy McKenna, and along with Abraham Ulrich, welcome to the Sins of Scientology.
Part 1 of our exploration into Scientology's impact on Clearwater, Florida, we uncovered the city's transformation from a vibrant coastal community to the secretive global headquarters of Scientology. We detailed Clearwater's charming pre-Scientology era, the historic significance of the Fort Harrison Hotel, and the covert real estate acquisitions that marked Scientology's arrival. Mayor Gabe Cazares' courageous opposition in 1976 brought national attention and highlighted the church's aggressive legal tactics. We also discussed the 1977 FBI raids that exposed Scientology's covert operations, the church's 1980s PR efforts to improve its image, and the 1983 City Commission resolution calling for federal investigation. Lastly, we examined the Sandcastle Motel acquisition, uncovering the church's expanding influence and the community's persistent concerns. In Part 2, we take a lingering look into the key players and ongoing struggles in this saga. What better way to begin this episode than with the words of Scientology's founder himself, L. Ron Hubbard. And I quote, "Once the world is clear, a nation, a state, a city, or a village, the Scientology organization in that area becomes its government. And once this has taken place, the only policy accepted as valid is Scientology's policy." End quote. Another interesting quote by L. Ron Hubbard, quote, "You want to know what happens when you clear everybody in that neighborhood. The only thing that Scientology Center can become used for is a political center, because by the time you've done all this, you are government." End quote. L. Ron Hubbard, January 9th, 1962. Now those quotes are a bit chilling, but ridiculous nonetheless.
No one has covered Scientology's takeover of Clearwater more thoroughly and compellingly than the Pulitzer Prize-winning series by the St. Petersburg Times. In late 1979, leveraging court documents from a criminal case against Scientology leaders, Bette Swenson Orsini and Charles Stafford of the Times examined how this insidious invasion took place. Their work earned them the 1980 Pulitzer Prize for National Reporting. Let's rewind to December 5th, 1975. On this day, the hierarchy of Scientology issued a chilling directive titled Power Project 3 Normandy. The major target? To fully investigate the Clearwater City and County area, identifying allies and enemies, and handling them as needed. This marked the beginning of a calculated and clandestine operation. Fast forward to January 26, 1976. At this time, Scientology was still masquerading in Clearwater under the guise of the United Churches of Florida. On this day, a church official named Joe Lisa concocted a sinister scheme to get a reporter, Mike Sabelman, fired from the Clearwater Sun. His plan was as follows, and I quote, "Have an elderly woman go into the office, overcome with grief and hysteria, demanding to see Sabelman's boss. She would then accuse Sabelman of sexually assaulting her son or grandson, throwing a lurid and perverted magazine in the boss's face, and threatening to go to the police if the pervert Sabelman was not dealt with." This malicious plot was just one piece of a larger deceptive strategy to infiltrate and control Clearwater. The church aimed to establish its headquarters in the city through discreet and underhanded means, avoiding public and governmental scrutiny at all costs. Documents reveal that Scientology came to Clearwater with a specific agenda: to establish its program headquarters, its School of Theology, in the Fort Harrison Hotel, and to gain control over the city. The United Churches of Florida was created as a front to protect church assets from potential government seizure. These documents also expose how the church officials devised and executed plots to discredit their perceived enemies. This included the mayor, who questioned their secrecy, journalists who investigated and reported on Scientology, and the editor and owner of the area's largest newspaper, and even local police departments. They revealed that covert agents of the church infiltrated local newspapers, community agencies, and law firms under their employ to gather intelligence and spy. While I'm no theologian, I question how this could be the behavior of a legitimate religious organization.
Milton Wolfe arrived in Clearwater in 1975 as a spokesman for the United Churches of Florida, a front group for the Church of Scientology. His role was part of a broader strategy by Scientology to establish a presence and exert influence in Clearwater. The United Churches aimed to make alliances with local religious and government leaders, but the organization's true affiliation with Scientology was revealed by the investigative journalists in early 1976, undermining these efforts. Wolfe was involved in leading the American Citizens for Honesty in Government, ACHG, another Scientology front group. This organization conducted investigations into various local agencies and officials attempting to eliminate what they termed false reports about Scientology. Their activities included probing local hospitals for alleged abuses and targeting various government agencies for surveillance and pressure. The activities of the American Citizens for Honesty in Government and other Scientology front groups in Clearwater during the mid-1970s involved several aggressive tactics aimed at discrediting and pressuring local institutions and individuals perceived as adversaries to Scientology. Scientology operatives engaged in extensive surveillance of local government offices, including the City Commission, the mayoral offices, city attorneys, police departments, and planning and zoning boards. Their goal was to uncover and eliminate what they considered false reports about Scientology's activities. Documents indicated that Scientologists were even planted within these agencies to ensure compliance and gather intelligence. Groups like the Committee for the Protection of Mental Patients' Rights and other Scientology fronts conducted investigations into alleged abuses at local psychiatry facilities, such as the Anklo Psychiatric Center and Horizon Hospital. These activities were framed as efforts to reform mental health practices, but were part of a broader strategy to challenge and discredit the psychiatry profession, which Scientology viewed as a significant adversary. Scientology aimed to control local media to prevent negative coverage and promote favorable narratives about their activities. This included attempts to influence local newspapers and other media outlets, and when these efforts failed, they resorted to direct attacks and legal challenges against critical media entities. The revelation of Scientology's connection to the United Churches front group by local journalists in early 1976 was a significant setback for these efforts. As mentioned in Part 1, former Clearwater Mayor Gabe Cazares was a notable target of Scientology's smear campaign. Cazares, who was openly critical of Scientology, faced various forms of harassment and legal challenges from the church. These efforts were intended to silence critics and create a more favorable environment for Scientology's activities in Clearwater. The church utilized both legal means and covert operations to achieve its goal. This included filing lawsuits to challenge unfavorable decisions or to intimidate opponents, as well as engaging in clandestine operations like Operation Snow White, which aimed to purge negative information about Scientology from government files worldwide. Although primarily focused in federal agencies, elements of these tactics were applied locally in Clearwater as well.
In the covert operations of Scientology's Clearwater takeover, one name often whispered but rarely spotlighted is that of Duke Snider. Snider was an elusive figure who was instrumental in the intelligence-gathering activities crucial for the church's successful infiltration and control of this Florida town. His meticulous efforts ensured the secrecy and security of Scientology's audacious plans, casting him as a shadowy puppet mastermind behind the scenes. Duke Snider wasn't a mere foot soldier. He was a strategic mastermind tasked with gathering critical information and keeping the church's activities under wraps. As the church set its sights on Clearwater in the mid-1970s, they knew that knowledge was power. Snider's role was to obtain that knowledge, operating with the precision of a seasoned spy. He meticulously scouted the landscape, identifying potential threats, allies, and opportunities. His intelligence reports were the lifeblood of Scientology's clandestine operations. Snider's work often required him to blend into the background, a ghost among the living. He cultivated a network of informants and allies who fed him valuable information about local government operations, business dealings, and even the personal lives of key Clearwater residents. This network provided the church with the inside scoop it needed to manipulate, maneuver, and maintain an upper hand in its takeover efforts. One of Snider's primary tasks was to ensure the veil of secrecy over Scientology's intentions. This required a meticulous cover-up of their real estate purchases and organizational activities. Snider orchestrated a series of corporations and front organizations, each designed to obfuscate the church's involvement. These entities appeared benign and unconnected, but they were all strings pulled by Snider to keep Scientology's true motives hidden from prying eyes. His methods were not just limited to gathering intelligence, they also involved counterintelligence. Snider was adept at identifying and neutralizing threats to the church's plans. This meant discrediting local activists, sowing discord amongst opposition groups, and, if necessary, deploying intimidation tactics. His operations created a climate of fear and confusion, which stifled resistance and allowed Scientology to move forward with its takeover largely unchallenged. Duke Snider's work was the backbone of Scientology's strategy in Clearwater. His intelligence and counterintelligence efforts ensured that Scientology's operations remained a step ahead of their adversaries. The success of the Clearwater takeover can be traced back to the shadowy figure of Snider, whose cloak and dagger tactics exemplified the dark side of Scientology's rise to power in the unsuspecting town. In the true crime saga of Scientology's Clearwater conquest, Duke Snider remains yet a key enigmatic figure, a master of espionage whose contributions were pivotal in turning the town into a stronghold for the church.
Henning Heldt was a prominent figure within the Church of Scientology during the 1970s, mainly known for his role in the church's guardian office, responsible for the church's intelligence and covert operations. Henning Heldt's background included working closely with high-ranking officials within the Church of Scientology. He was notably involved in the church's efforts to protect its interest and manage its public image, often through controversial and covert means. His involvement with Scientology escalated when he became the Deputy Guardian for the United States, a senior position within the Guardian's office. In this role, he oversaw numerous operations to safeguard the church's secrets and expand its influence. One of Heldt's most notorious activities was his involvement in Operation Snow White, a conspiracy orchestrated by Scientology. This operation aimed to purge unfavorable records about Scientology from government files. Heldt, along with other senior Scientology officials, orchestrated the infiltration of various U.S. government agencies, including the IRS, to steal or tamper with records that were detrimental to the church. Heldt's activities eventually led to significant legal repercussions. In 1977, the FBI conducted one of its most extensive raids on Scientology offices, in Washington, D.C. and Los Angeles. These raids aimed to uncover evidence of the church's illegal activities, especially those related to Operation Snow White. Heldt was among the key figures targeted during these raids. Subsequently, Heldt was charged and convicted of multiple crimes, including conspiracy against the U.S. government. His conviction, along with those other senior Scientology officials, marked a significant moment in the history of Scientology's legal battles. Henning Heldt's actions had a profound impact on both Scientology and the public perception. The exposure of Operation Snow White and the subsequent conviction damaged the church's reputation and highlighted its willingness to engage in illegal activities to promote its interests. These events also led to increased scrutiny and legal challenges against Scientology in the years that followed.
Dick Weigand was a shadowy figure within the Church of Scientology, known for his pivotal role in the church's covert operations and deeply involved in Operation Normandy. Weigand was a key player in the Guardian's Office, Scientology's intelligence and espionage arm. His job was not for the faint of heart. It involved planning and executing covert operations to protect and expand the church's influence. His name might not be as widely known as that of L. Ron Hubbard or Mary Sue Hubbard, but his actions left a lasting imprint on Clearwater. His involvement in Operation Normandy was critical. The operation was designed to infiltrate and take control of Clearwater discreetly. The ultimate goal? To establish the flag land-based Scientology's international spiritual headquarters without arousing suspicion or resistance from the local community. One of his strategies was using front organizations. Under his guidance, Scientology created the United Churches of Florida, a seemingly benign entity that purchased the Fort Harrison Hotel in 1975. This hotel was to become the nerve center for Scientology's operations in Clearwater. He orchestrated the infiltration of local government offices and community organizations. Under his direction, Scientologists posed as members of these organizations to gather intelligence and influence local decisions. Weigand's meticulous planning ensured that these operations could collect crucial information about city officials, journalists, and anyone deemed a threat to Scientology's ambitions. He was instrumental in setting up surveillance operations. His team monitored local officials and critics, collecting personal and professional data. This information was used to manipulate, discredit, and silence those who opposed Scientology's plans. Despite his careful planning, Operation Normandy began to unravel as the scale of Scientology's covert activities came to light. Raids led to a series of indictments, and Weigand found himself ensnared in a legal fallout. Alongside other high-ranking Guardian's Office officials, he was charged with conspiracy and obstruction of justice. In 1988, he was convicted and sentenced to prison, and his role in the Clearwater takeover was now exposed to the world. Dick Weigand's involvement in the Clearwater takeover is a stark reminder of the lengths to which Scientology was willing to go to establish its foothold. His actions were part of a broader pattern of deception and manipulation that characterized the church's operations during this period. Weigand's legacy is a cautionary tale of covert operations gone awry. His meticulous planning and execution of Operation Normandy initially succeeded in embedding Scientology into the fabric of Clearwater. Still, the subsequent exposure and legal repercussions highlighted the dangers and ethical breaches of such clandestine efforts.
Moe Kahn, a pivotal figure in Scientology's covert property acquisition strategy in Clearwater, Florida, operated under the radar, utilizing a series of front organizations to achieve the church's ambitious goal. His involvement in Scientology began in the early days when the church set its sights on establishing a stronghold in Clearwater. Kahn joined Scientology in the early 1970s, aligning himself with the church's broader mission to expand its influence through strategic real estate purchases. He was instrumental in Project Normandy, a covert operation named after World War II's invasion, which aimed to infiltrate and control Clearwater by acquiring fundamental properties and establishing a dominant presence in the city. Kahn's job within Scientology was multifaceted, encompassing roles that included liaising with real estate agents, negotiating purchases, and managing these acquisitions' legal and financial intricacies. As part of the operation, Kahn and his associates use a web of front organizations to buy properties without revealing their actual affiliation with Scientology. This secrecy was crucial to avoid public scrutiny and resistance. The acquisitions included numerous commercial properties bought for prices significantly higher than their market value, ensuring quick transactions. Kahn's meticulous approach and dedication to Scientology's expansionist goals made him a key player in transforming Clearwater into a de facto Scientology city. Some notable properties acquired under Kahn's direction include a series of commercial properties in downtown Clearwater, specifically along Cleveland Street, where the church now controls 22 out of 33 buildings leading to the waterfront. These properties were often purchased at prices significantly higher than their market value to ensure quick confidential transactions. The Yarborough building was bought through a real estate agent and parishioner, David Kerr. The property was not listed for sale, but the church managed to secure it by paying 3 times its assessed value. Companies linked to Scientology members purchased multiple parcels of land in commercial buildings in the North Marina area. These acquisitions amounted to millions of dollars and included both developed and underdeveloped parcels. These strategic purchases have transformed downtown Clearwater, making it a near-exclusive domain for the Church of Scientology. This extensive control over prime real estate has allowed the church to plan large-scale redevelopment projects, aiming to revitalize the area while ensuring its dominance remains unchallenged.
Marty Rathbun joined Scientology in the early 1970s, drawn by the promise of personal development and spiritual enlightenment offered by L. Ron Hubbard's teachings. Like many others, Rathbun was captivated by the church's claims of helping others reach their full potential through a process called auditing, which aimed to clear individuals of their past traumas and negative influences. Rathbun, who held the title of Inspector General of the Religious Technology Center, was deeply involved in the church's operations during the 70s and 80s. Rathbun quickly rose through the ranks due to his dedication and effectiveness. He became deeply involved in the church's operations, in particular legal and intelligence matters. By the 1980s, he was a senior executive and played a crucial role in many of the church's controversial activities, including its aggressive expansion into Clearwater. These acquisitions were part of a broader strategy to establish Clearwater as the spiritual headquarters of Scientology. Rathbun's expertise in managing these deceptive transactions was crucial, enabling the church to acquire significant real estate holdings without raising immediate suspicion. Rathbun's role wasn't limited to property acquisitions. He was also known for his hardline tactics against critics and opponents of Scientology. This included orchestrating campaigns of harassment and intimidation, a hallmark of the church's operations during this period. Local residents, journalists, and officials who questioned Scientology's activities often found themselves targeted by these aggressive measures, many of which Rathbun directed. Throughout the 1980s, Rathbun's influence within the church grew as he took on more responsibilities, including managing legal battles and deploying strategies to protect Scientology from external threats. His ability to navigate the legal system and implement countermeasures against adversaries further solidifies his reputation as one of the church's most formidable enforcers. In this 2-part episode, we've just scratched the surface with these shadowy roles of these key figures like Moe Kahn, whose strategic property acquisitions under various front organizations paved the way for Scientology's stronghold, and Duke Snider's meticulous intelligence operations ensured the secrecy and security of their audacious plans, creating an atmosphere of fear and manipulation. Henning Heldt's involvement in the notorious Operation Snow White highlighted the lengths to which Scientology would go to protect its interest and control its narrative. We shared how Scientology infiltrated local government, manipulated the media, and executed smear campaigns against its critics. The calculated acquisition of the historic Fort Harrison Hotel and other key properties was part of a broader strategy to establish Clearwater as the church's spiritual headquarters. We reflect on the courageous efforts of those who dared to resist and the ongoing impact of Scientology's presence in Clearwater. This tale of deception, power, and control serves as a haunting reminder of the lengths this organization will go to maintain its secrets and expand its influence.
Next week, we embark on the harrowing tale of Paulette Cooper, a fearless journalist whose quest for truth led into the crosshairs of one of the most secretive organizations in the world. In this gripping episode, we'll unravel the mysteries behind Cooper's relentless pursuit of exposing Scientology's dark secrets. Her bravery knew no bounds, but it came at a steep price. From covert operation to smear campaigns, discover how far the church went to fair game Paulette Cooper. Join us as we unravel the chilling details of Operation Freakout, a sinister plot designed to obliterate Paulette's life. Prepare to be intrigued, shocked, and inspired by a woman who refused to be silenced. Tune in next week for A Fearless Journalist, the story of Paulette Cooper. We hope you subscribe and join us on the next episode as we continue to expose the sins of Scientology. Until then, keep questioning, keep seeking, and may your journey be as rich and enlightening as the stories you encounter.